right, and it is April 9th. It's a Monday in the year 2017 or 2017. That's right. I'm here, but I'm not here because it's a video and it's the YouTube A. All right, or the YouTube or whatever. It doesn't matter. Here we go. So with me, Mr. Hoehn, AVID class, let's go, elective time. There's going to be a quick write. We're going to focus on your TRFs and your vocabulary. We're going to get back to tutorials this week. It's going to get exciting. I really want to focus in because, to be honest, we will be observed next week. So I want to make sure that our tutorials are on Pizoint because, you know, we're going to be observed and we want to, they've bragged about us at AVID because you guys did so amazing the first time. So while I know that you guys can kick butt when it comes to the tutorials, we got to bring it back and make sure that we're doing a couple of things as awesome as possible. And then, of course, you're going to use the rest of today, unfortunately, to complete your final draft for the descriptive essay. That's not unfortunate. That's amazing! And that's because I'm not here, so I wasn't able to get the computers. Make sure all those are done. I'll see if I can get some time on Wednesday, maybe. Who knows? All right, cool. Let's get on to that quick write, because you guys should be seated and quiet. All right, here we go. Here's your quick write. Kaboom. All right, who do you get along with most in your family, and who do you get along with least in your family? All right, give 5 reasons for each, and more importantly, Hoehn's going to grade these on Friday for your notebook check. All right, so at this point, the adult in the room should pause the video and give you guys about 8 minutes from wherever this is, 8 minutes to actually get that done. At the end of that 8 minutes, we're going to unpause the video and take a look at our TRFs and the tutorials that we are going to be practicing for and making amazing for our observations for next week. Here we go. All right, cool. Go ahead and pause the video. I'll be back when you guys are done with your quick write. I told you I'll be back. It's been about 8 minutes, but for me, it's been about 10 seconds. So let's go. After the quick write. All right, so guys, the focus for this week is going to be vocabulary. And I can't tell you how many times on people's TRFs they looked at me and they go, what do I put right here? Okay, that doesn't sound like what you sound like. But really, sometimes when I hear the question 50 times, that's in my mind where it kind of goes a little bit. So all of your vocabulary comes from here, your initial and original question. Your initial question has vocabulary in it. If it doesn't, make sure that you get a question that has initial vocabulary in it. Volume of a cylinder, rotation of a figure, expansion, dilation, rotation, reflection, vector, scale factor. All of these things are examples from Chapter 7 and some from Chapter 8. Trapezoid. It needs to have vocabulary in your initial question. There should be vocabulary in there that is specific to 8th grade. Whatever subject you're writing about, English, science, math, world studies, any of those subjects. I'm leaving one out, who knows. But you got to make sure that your vocabulary is in your initial question. Choose a quality initial question so that your vocabulary from here is what goes here in your key academic vocabulary and the definition associated with the topic in question. See, those are what actually get added in to these sections. The first two, two vocabulary words, and make sure that those vocabulary words are actually words that are in your initial or original question, because that means you guys picked an amazing question. Shaboo! So now that you have those vocabulary terms and they're in your initial question, they ultimately need to appear in your point of confusion. So make sure that those vocabulary words, those key academic terms, are also in your point of confusion. That POC. All right. So, in review, your initial or original question is high quality, and it's got vocabulary words in it. And that's what goes here in the key academic vocabulary. And what gets placed in these two spaces for key academic vocabulary used from your original question. And from there, they ultimately appear, those key vocabulary words, in your point of confusion. If they are not in your initial question, and they are not in your right here in your key academic vocabulary, and those two words are not in your point of confusion. In fact, if those two keywords are the only words used right here, and there's nothing in your original question and nothing in your point of confusion, yeah, we're going to be picking on that, and you're not going to pass. So make sure that for these TRFs now, we're getting strict and serious, preparing you for high school, that your key academic vocabulary, these two words appear in your original question, vocabulary section, and in your point of confusion. All right, so for the adult in the room, go ahead and pause the video. We're going to take about 15 minutes to make sure that the front page for these are done. 15 to 20 minutes. These kids are amazing. You guys are awesome, and you guys can really, really get this done. Crack open those notebooks. We've been storing up notes for the last 2 weeks to make sure that we have materials for lots of different tutorials. And let's get that done. Make sure your vocabulary comes from your initial question, goes into your key academic vocabulary, and ultimately it appears in your point of confusion. Rewind this section of the video if you need to review, but go ahead and pause it, and 15 to 20 minutes later, unpause the video after everyone has turned in their TRF. Get that in. On your mark, set, and go. All right, so we've come back, and it's been about 15-20 minutes for you and about 3 seconds for me. And you've completed and turned in those TRFs. And so at that point, it's final draft time. Yeah, that's right, I said at that point when I meant at this point. So if it's not typed, do not worry. If it is typed and you guys saved it on my computers, you guys know who you are. Go ahead and work on it there. But the most important part is that you must hand it to me, the Hoehn, before you sit down tomorrow. And I'm going to be real strict about this. And like I did say before you sat down tomorrow, which means tomorrow when you see me again, if you don't hand it to me, I'm literally going to make sure that you are standing in the back of the classroom, writing your final draft, standing at the counter. I am not joking. It needs to be done. In fact, most of you should have finished it over the weekend. If you did finish it over the weekend, give it to someone else to reread, and then write it again. No one is done, Julian. No one is done. Make sure that you get it written. Make sure that you get it done. Make sure that you hand it in to me tomorrow before you sit down. And that's right. I said that you need to get it done. Oh, woogity, woogity, woo. All right. At this point, it should take till the end of the class to have everyone done. If there are some students that look like they are frantic and panicked and have not written their final draft, oh my gosh, you better get it done, because you ain't going to sit tomorrow until you get it done. That's right. You ain't going to sit tomorrow until you get it done. So whatever it takes, take the time today. Be respectful of the people around you. Be silent as they are completing their work. Work on your and get that done. Get it done. And until next time, students, that's right. I will see you again and get that work done.